updates video for you. We have been in the new house for a month now, which is crazy to say, it's gone so quickly, but we have started to dip our toes into painting and redecorating. I definitely wanted to live in the house for a little while before we made any final decisions, but I feel like now we've been in here a month, we kind of know how we use the house and the space, especially certain rooms. So we have started to order paint and get going with ordering a few more bits and decorating. I have painted this room. This is the only room I've painted so far. Now, funny story about this room, I will show you how it's looking in a second, but the colour on this walls is actually the plaster pink colour that we ordered for the downstairs. So if you watched the last home updates video where I introduced you to the new house, you saw that we were toying with the idea of a very light plaster pink in the living room, kitchen, diner area, and we did end up going for one from Coat Paints. It was the one I really wanted to go for, and I ordered 10 litres of that for the downstairs. It arrived, and if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that it arrived exploded everywhere. It was in a cardboard box. I think it was DPD that delivered it, but both the paint cans, not one, but both of them had exploded on the travel to us. So I wasn't very happy about that. It wasn't the best first impressions of this new paint company that I'd heard so many rave reviews about. I did contact them, their customer service, and to be fair to them, they were pretty good. They sent me another 10 litres of paint. So we ended up with a fresh 10 litres, which did arrive intact, luckily. So we are going to use that for the downstairs as we planned. But we had these two paint cans that I would say were probably about half to 2/3 full. A lot of the paint had come out and it was obviously everywhere, but we still had paint in the cans that we wanted to use. So I thought, why don't I test the colour in this room, in my filming kind of dressing, chilling room, and if I like it, we can go ahead and paint the downstairs. And this is a way to just kind of test it in a smaller room that's not as big of a commitment to paint, just to check we like the colour, and because obviously we have so much extra paint now. So that is what I did. This is the first room I went ahead and painted, and I am so happy with the colour. I don't know if you can really appreciate it, but it is just a beautiful, very soft, very subtle, light pink, just something a little bit more interesting than a white or an off-white or a beige, but nothing too in your face. And I did colour drench. I didn't do the woodwork, so I've left the woodwork, the skirting board and the door white, just because I think it might have been a little bit much all in pink, and obviously the radiator is white as well, so it kind of ties in, and the window, so that all kind of ties in. But I did do the ceiling. I colour drenched the ceiling, so the ceiling is in the pink and the walls are in the pink, and I'm so happy with it. It's the perfect colour, and despite the initial kind of questionability of the company, at least they did rectify the error and we got some free paint out of it. So I will show you the colour up close. We have also built our wardrobe. I painted the wardrobe outside. This wardrobe we picked up on Facebook Marketplace, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago when we were in the old house. It was £20. It was a vintage stag wardrobe in need of some love, and we did decide to paint it. I did want to strip it back originally, but I think it was a veneer. I don't think it was all solid wood. So we decided to paint it, and we originally painted it an off-white kind of colour, which looked fine, but I wanted something a little bit more bold in here, especially because the colour on the walls is quite subtle. So I went with this blue colour. This is Lick, I think it's blue 15, and it is the perfect shade of blue in my opinion. I would highly recommend it. I went with the eggshell finish for the woodwork, the wardrobe, and I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. I feel like the pink and blue go really nicely together. It injects a little bit of colour while not being too much. We also have these Matilda Gold doorknobs on the wardrobe. These were things I added a few years ago when we originally picked up the wardrobe, so these aren't new, but I still absolutely love these. If you are looking for unique doorknobs or, things like that, cupboard handles, Matilda Gold have some really fantastic ones, and they have these gorgeous back plates, which I'd never even heard of a back plate before, but it adds so much. I feel like with just the green knob, it would look quite bare, but I have these really fun bird back plates that add so much detail and whimsy to the wardrobe. It is not a sunny day today, so I feel like you're not going to appreciate the colour as much as you would on a really bright sunny day, but you will have to trust me that it is a gorgeous light pink. And then the second thing we did once we'd done the wardrobe and the paint is I did put up my brand new full-length mirror, which I am so obsessed with. It's so gorgeous. It's a bit of a statement. It's a bit more interesting than the one I had before, which was just a plain metal mirror from IKEA. This one is from Oka, which is quite an expensive brand, but I did manage to get this half price on sale. I think it has gone back to being full price now, annoyingly, but I will leave it linked down below anyway, because I'm obsessed with anything bobbin. I just love bobbin details, and I really loved this kind of wood and black effect. It is solid wood, and it is absolutely huge as well. So perfect for showing my outfits, but I just love how much light it brings into the room as well. A small business I made a purchase from a few weeks ago for this room is this cushion here. This is from a lady on Instagram who makes these cushions by hand. She does loads of different fabrics. I think she uses like leftover fabric samples and then makes these gorgeous cushions. And I ordered this one from her last drop. It was a few weeks ago now. I think she's doing another drop maybe this weekend. So I'll leave her Instagram handle linked down below if you're interested. They're so beautiful. But I ordered this potentially for this room. I have already ordered a armchair. Oh, by the way, it's like floral on one side. Let me show you properly. Floral on one side with this really pretty pink ruffle, and then it is pink stripes on the back. So really gorgeous, so much attention to detail. And as I said in my last video, I just love buying things from small independent businesses. So this is one of those. But as I said, I have ordered an armchair for this room. I wanted something really big, really comfortable that I can just kind of sink into. Originally, I was looking at more like occasion chairs. You know, those kind of chairs that look really pretty in the corner of a room, but actually aren't that comfortable to sit on and end up just being somewhere where you dump clothes. And I didn't want that to be the case in this room. So I've gone with quite a large armchair. It's almost verging on a love seat. It's quite big in this really cool corduroy fabric. I wanted something quite neutral, but I didn't want it to be boring. So when I saw this one, I loved that it was a neutral kind of beigey color, but it's in a corduroy fabric, which brings a little bit of texture into the room. That is coming this Thursday. It's Tuesday today. So in the next video, I will show you that once it's in, but it's gonna take up the majority of the corner of the room. Let me show you. So it's going to live in this corner here. I might even have to shift the wardrobe over just slightly because I think it's going to need a little bit more room. I have measured it and it will fit. Some other additions to the room is obviously the clothing rail. It doesn't have much on it at the moment, but this is for like my new in pieces, or I might put on my outfits I want to wear that week. I want to take them out of the wardrobe and put them on the rail. Obviously it's great for like filming content as well, but I really loved the curved shape of this rail. It's really different. I love the red burgundy color as well. It just brings something modern into this room. It's from a Swedish brand called Hey, and I will also leave it linked down below. I've just at the moment got a couple of new in pieces that I recently received. These are 2 pieces from Rouge's new spring collection, this gorgeous dress and a bodysuit in red as well. I did also change the light fitting in here to this really pretty cream pleated lampshade. I really like this one. I still need to change the fitting above. I'm not sure what it's called, like the ceiling rose. I want to change that to a brushed silver to match the plug sockets in here, because this white one, I feel like these white fittings are just really cheap and ugly, and I think if you can upgrade those, they're not very expensive to get some nicer metal ones. It really does make a difference, so I will do that at some point. But yeah, the lampshade is really pretty. It's like this pleated cream. It was from a brand called Rocket St. George on Next, and I can also leave that link down below. I've got a few of my bags up on top of the wardrobe, and then if I open up the wardrobe, I have started to put some of my clothes in here. We will have wardrobes in the bedroom, so this is more of like an overflow space. Maybe I'm going to store winter coats in here when they're not in season, that kind of thing. But at the moment, because we haven't got the wardrobe set up, I have just started putting in quite a few pieces. I've got some coats, some dresses, some jackets, cardigans, and then down below I've got some of my shoes as well. Let me know what you think of the changes I've made so far. There is still more to do in this room, the main thing being getting some curtains in here, which is quite a priority, so I might try and order those today. I'm going to show you some of the curtains we've ordered for other rooms. It's taken me so long to decide on curtains. I feel like they're the hardest thing to pick because they're so expensive. They're a real commitment. You don't change them like ever really, so you kind of, if you're going for a pattern especially, you really have to love love it. But we have decided on some living room curtains and a couple of blinds for the kitchen and the hallway. So I can show you those, but I can show you some of the other fabric samples I've got as well, because I really do need to decide on some curtains for here and in the bedroom. I can also go downstairs and show you some of the updates we've made to the kitchen, and then the plans I have for the conservatory, which is my next project. In the kitchen now, and I thought I would show you some of the little bits and bobs I've been adding to the kitchen over the last few weeks. The first being probably my favourite purchase, this huge Neptune wooden chopping board. This is something that I've seen for years, and I knew as soon as I had a kitchen big enough to have one of these, I wanted one. They are quite expensive. It was definitely a splurge purchase. However, I feel like they are going to last a long time, hopefully. It's just an absolutely ginormous wooden chopping board, so we can do all of our prep work on here. It stays on the countertop, and I really like how it also brings in some warmer wood tones with all the white and grey and black that is in here. I definitely wanted to warm it up, and I feel like because this is so big and it stays out permanently, it's really nice to add in some of those warmer, more homely feeling items. So love that. I had an Oliver bonus voucher for my birthday, and I picked up 2 things with it. The first being this beautiful vase, this pink and brown vase that I've had on the countertop. I'm going to try and always have fresh flowers in this. I've got some tulips in it at the moment, but I absolutely love that. And then the second thing I picked up is this similar kind of pink ceramic woven style basket. It just has all our eggs in at the moment. I do not want these to tip out, but yeah, I have all of our eggs in there at the moment. I don't know if these are going to stay in the in this basket, but they look really cute in there, and I think that's how it was advertised on the website. They had some eggs in it, and I thought it looked really cute. But I don't know, are you an eggs in the fridge or eggs outside of the fridge kind of person? Because we've always been eggs in the fridge, but I don't think they have to go in the fridge. So either way, I really like this little basket, and yeah, that's how I'm using it for now. I did do a little bit of a trip to HomeSense a few days ago. I was actually very restrained. I just picked up the tea towels, and then I also picked up 3 of these little glass Tupperwares for berries and leftovers, things like that. I wanted some smaller ones because we only have huge ones at the moment, and they're just too big really for a lot of the things we need them for. So picked up some of these. That was all I got from HomeSense. I could have got more, but I do try and be careful in shops like HomeSense. I feel like it's quite easy to get carried away and then actually buy stuff that isn't the best quality. I don't tend to buy furniture from them because I just feel like it isn't the greatest quality, but I feel like some knickknacks here and there, they do quite well. I remembered I also got these salt and pepper shakers from another small brand actually. This was a little shop that is in Bristol. I think they're called Monpote or Monpote. And I saw these really cute yellow salt and pepper shakers and instantly thought I need them. I want to add a few more yellow touches to this room. I just think this colour yellow is really nice in a kitchen. These are going to go on the dining table when the dining table arrives. But for now, they are just living in the cupboard because I don't want them to take up too much space. But once we have the dining table, which is a custom order, I got it on Etsy. I will leave the seller down below. It's like a rustic farmhouse style dining table made to order. It should be coming in about 3 weeks, hopefully not too long. I ordered it a couple of weeks ago. So once we have that, we'll have a lot more space for obviously eating, but also, you know, having the little salt and pepper shakers and things like that on the dining table rather than on the counters. This space here is where the dining table is going to go. So obviously we still have a lot of clearing to do. We did sell quite a lot of our furniture before we moved, which is why we still have stuff, even 4 weeks on, in boxes, things that need sorting, because a lot of this stuff needs like a cupboard or some kind of organizational piece of furniture to be bought before we can put it away. But obviously before the dining table comes, I am going to sort this out, clear it all out, put it somewhere, even if it's just in the garage for now, so we can put our beautiful new dining table here. The dining table is going to come with a bench. So we've gone for a long table. It has a bench on one side, which is going to go against the wall, and then we bought 2 dining chairs. I wanted something a little bit different. I wanted a bit of a mix and match kind of feel, something that wasn't too coordinated. So we've gone for a light-ish wood on the dining table, and then I've got 2 chairs that I picked up, which are like a wishbone-esque style chair, not real wishbone chairs, because those are about £600 each. These were much more affordable, but I got them because I saw this picture on Instagram of one of the Sheerlux girls I don't know if I've said this in the last video, one of the Sheerlux girls has a really gorgeous kitchen. She has like a farmhouse style table, and then she's got these burgundy red wishbone chairs, and I really liked the look of that. I kind of wanted to copy that. So I've gone for the farmhouse table, and then I've got 2 dining chairs. They are currently in our conservatory because we don't have furniture in there yet, so I'm using them just in there for now, but they are these really gorgeous burgundy red. They're like a rust kind of red with this seagrass seat. We've got 2 of these, so these are going to go on the other side of the dining table, and I think it's going to look, I hope my vision that I've kind of pictured on my mood board and in my imagination is going to come to life. I feel like it's going to look really good. Thought I would show you some of the fabric samples that I've been ordering when it comes to curtains. When I say I've ordered so many samples because I just cannot decide, it's such a hard decision. I don't know how people decide on curtains. I've ordered most of these actually from Blinds Direct. When we measured up our windows, because they are quite wide, the cost of curtains at any kind of bespoke curtain company was just completely out of our budget. It was like £1,500 to £2,000 per pair of curtains, and we have, you know, multiple, probably like 4 or 5 windows that are that size, as well as I want to put a curtain on the conservatory door as well, which is expensive. So we quickly realised we needed to go somewhere a little bit more affordable. So Blinds Direct came up. I follow this one interior designer on Instagram who said Blinds Direct was her top recommendation for the more affordable companies that do made-to-order curtains and blinds. So I had a look, and they do have quite nice fabrics on there. So I have been ordering so many that I just don't know. I also ordered a few from Next as well, but I decided against, I didn't really like any of the ones from Next. These are a few of them, but they weren't that special to me. Some of the ones I ordered from Blinds Direct that I did really like this, not for some curtains, I think it goes that way actually, but for maybe for a Roman blind in one of the rooms. We haven't gone for this yet, but I do think it is really pretty. This is one of the more affordable fabrics. It's like a burgundy with a slightly greeny and white stripe. So I liked that one. Quite like this one as well. I went for quite a few of these more block printy style patterns. They are one of my favourites for curtains. This is like, it's described as gold, but it's almost like a greeny colour with this pretty sort of block print flower design. Didn't go for that in the end. I did order this thinking I would like it. Didn't really like it. It's so hard to tell because I do feel like the pictures on these websites are not the best. I wish someone would make a bespoke curtain company where they actually use AI to visualize what they're going to look like and it's actually effective, because most of the time they have these really rubbish drawings of what the curtains will look like full, and you just can't really get a good idea for what they're actually going to look like. Didn't really like that one. Again, more like block printy ones. The thing I don't love about these, like I really like this pattern, but I'm not a massive fan of curtains on a beige background. I think because our carpet is beige, I feel like it will be too much beige. I want something that has a colourful background and maybe a neutral print, or just colourful all over. Because I don't know, I just don't love the beige background of some of these. This one I really liked. This is from Edinburgh Weavers. I really liked quite a few of their fabrics. This was a close contender for the living room. I thought it was just really pretty. It's hard to tell from a sample, but I thought it was really pretty. I liked the colours in it, but we ended up going for a slightly different one. Let me try and find the one. Yeah, this is the one we ended up going for the living room in the end. So it's more of like a blue greeny tone with pink and green in it. I thought it was really pretty. I thought it was going to go quite well with the light plaster pink colour that we are going to paint in here eventually. I thought it was fun. I wanted to go for something a little bit more bold in the living room, just because everything else I think will be quite simple. The paint colour's quite simple, the sofa's quite simple, and I think this goes with that orangey velvet sofa that we already have quite well. So this one was the one we ended up committing to for the living room after much deliberation. And these are being made to order, so these are going to come in a few weeks as well. I really hope we like them, because it was a big expense. Even though we went for like the cheaper company, they were still so expensive. And then I've got like more block printy. This is quite cute actually. This is like a little floral block print number. This one I almost went for the living room, just like a seashell design, which I really like, but I didn't want it to feel overly coastal, even though I do really like the seashells. Again, that was quite pretty. That was a contender as well. So many different ones that I ordered. Love this one actually, not for the living room, but maybe for somewhere. But we actually ended up going for this in a different colourway for the hallway upstairs, the landing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. here it is. This is one we went, because the landing is just kind of a window on its own. There's not much decor in the landing. It's just the landing upstairs. I thought we'd go for something a little bit more bold for the Roman blinds. We've done a couple of Roman blinds for the windows where we don't want curtains, and this was the pattern we chose for that. I thought it was just really fun. It's like a navy with these polka dots and these leaves almost. I thought it was fun, but yeah, it's a different colour of this one, but we ended up going for the blue in the end. And then for the kitchen, the other curtain we have already ordered for the kitchen blind. Again, it's going to be a Roman blind. There's already a Roman blind there, but we wanted to update it, make it more our own. We went for a simple blue and white stripe in the end after much deliberation. I wanted something dark because I don't want it to get dirty, because the sink is right there. If the water splashes onto the blind when it's down, I didn't want it to be too obvious. I wanted something a little bit darker and something fairly simple. And I do like the idea of a stripe. So we went for this one, which I think is really nice. But we do still need to order curtains for my filming room, for the bedroom, and for this door to the conservatory, which I'm still trying to decide. There's honestly so many different options. I'm still trying to figure out. It's such a hard decision to make. But yeah, I have so many samples. I like this one as well, actually. It's like birds. It's quite a simple, neutral one. Yeah, there's just so many, and they're all really pretty, but it's just a big commitment, right? This one's a little bit more simple, again, block printy. This one I liked, actually. I almost went for this one in the living room with the mix of the floral and the stripe. I liked that, but this one ended up winning over it in the end. But yeah, big decisions to make. I've just got back from my walk and I've had a delivery from Sézane. I actually ordered a couple of homeware bits from Sézane. I love Sézane homeware, honestly, so much. I wish they did more of it because it's just probably my favourite homeware brand, but they really have quite a small selection. So I ordered a lamp for this room, I think. I've wanted one of their lamps for years, but I've never had, you know, the reason to justify buying one. But I thought now I would buy one because I just love the way they look. I think they're so pretty. So it's come in 2 boxes, I guess, the lampshade and the lamp base. So let's open this up and see. I got a smaller one so it wasn't so expensive. But yeah, it's quite small, but I think it's going to go. I think I'm going to have a little side table by my new armchair in here, and I'm probably going to have the lamp on the side table. So this is the base. I went with the blush pink because it's just my favourite colour. So this is the base. It's a ceramic base. Really, really pretty. And then I need to get a light bulb actually. I didn't think about that. And then I've got the simple, I think it's like a white shade to go on top. Let's have a little look. Here it is. So just a really simple white shade. It's actually kind of similar to the ceiling one I have. I don't know how you put these on. That will do for now. It's not properly on, but yeah, it's just a really cute little table lamp that I can have in here by my chair. So if I want to read in the evenings, I don't have to have the scary big light on. I can have this on instead. And I love a lamp that has a shade like this rather than an exposed bulb, because I think it's so much better for diffusing the light. So yeah, that's my first little Sézane purchase. And then I have another purchase here. This was a bit random, but I've been looking for a fruit bowl for ages. And I don't know, I'm quite particular about things. When I buy something, I want it to be functional, but I also want it to add to the, you know, the aesthetic and the vibe of the room. So I've been looking for a really nice fruit bowl, even since before we moved, because we've never really had a nice one. And then I saw this one randomly last weekend. It must have dropped in a couple of colours, and there was a yellow one, and I thought, ooh, yellow is a colour, one of the few colours I'm adding to the kitchen as like an accent colour. So I thought this would be perfect on the worktop or on the dining room table. So let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's so fun. It's actually bigger than I thought as well. So it's like quite a shallow bowl, but it will be fine for fruit. And yeah, it's just gonna sit on the worktop or on the dining table, not sure yet. It It's a similar yellow to the salt and pepper shakers as well, so hopefully it will all go quite nicely. But yeah, we'll be able to put our fruit in that. That's what it looks like. I'm pleased with that. I think they're really nice. They're all handmade, and yeah, it's kind of expensive, but I don't buy many knickknacks. I really don't like having loads of things that don't have a use. As much as I love home decor, I like everything to have a function as well as look pretty. So I don't really buy anything that's just for decoration. It always has to have a purpose. So I don't mind spending a little bit more on things like this because I don't have that many knickknacks and, you know, little things that are kind of random and pointless. So yeah, that's my fruit bowl. That's my little Sézane haul. Just put the fruit bowl on the counter with some actually fairly sad looking apples in it. We really need to eat these, but that's the only fruit we have right now. So yeah, I really like that. I think it's really pretty. I love the pop of yellow against all the pinks and stuff, and it will look great in here once we have painted the walls, we've changed the blind, we have the dining table in. I can really see, I feel like it's the first room other than my office that's starting to come together. I think I'm going to leave it for there now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's home updates. Next week we'll have some fun things as well. I will definitely get to painting the conservatory that I'm in now. We need to start prep on the garden. It already looks quite nice, to be fair, but I want to get some garden furniture, make sure we've got it usable for the spring summer ahead. And then what else will be happening? My chair, my armchair for my office will be arriving. I know I haven't shown you any of the bedroom, and we have got our new bed and bedside tables in there, but so far, because we haven't built the wardrobes yet, it is just a complete dumping ground. So that's a project probably for the next month or two. We do need to look into that because I can't live that much longer without wardrobes. So I will of course document that when we eventually start building our bespoke IKEA wardrobe situation. I'll take you along for that as well. But for now, we're getting there. We're doing things slowly. We're starting with the easy rooms, I feel like, the smaller rooms, and then building our way to the bigger projects. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you did enjoy the series and you want to see more of the home updates. I will have another fashion video for you soon. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.